What's going on, Miami Dolphin fans? Mitchell Renton's here from Chat Sports, and we got a jam-packed show on Sunday, and yes, Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to talk about an amazing, crazy three-way trade from Fansided that I can't wait to take a deep dive into. At the end of the show, we're going to talk about Chris Godwin, Allen Robinson. One of these receivers is apparently going to go back to their old team, but before I get into all of that, we did have some voting that went down yesterday around Defensive Player of the Year and around Coach of the Year. And first, we're going to start here with the voting that came across for NFL Coach of the Year. So the person who ended up winning it was head coach of the Cleveland Browns. 25 votes there, just Kevin Stefanski. Then second place was Sean McDermott, head coach of the Buffalo Bills. And the Miami Dolphins head coach, Brian Flores, with 6 votes. Here's my question to all of you, because throughout the season, we talked about the potential of Brian Flores winning Coach of the Year. Do you guys think that he deserved it? I want you to type Y for yes or type N for no. I understand the fact that Miami did not make the playoffs this year. However, last season Miami was point differential of minus 198. This year, they totally flipped that. The defense totally transformed. They had a young rookie quarterback, and they were 1-3 at one point. So this is a football team that I thought did a lot of really good things. However, I also understand that Kevin Stefanski, Sean McDermott, they took their teams to the playoffs. But in terms of what they were able to do from one year to another, I'd actually probably give a little bit more credit to Brian Flores. Let's go to Defensive Player of the Year now. We got Aaron Donald, who ended up getting the award with 27 first-place votes, TJ Watt with 20, and then Xavien Howard with only 3. So this was the one where I was like, wow, only 3 votes for Howard. Like, I get it. Donald, Watt had amazing seasons, and when you look at what Aaron Donald was able to do with the LA Rams, arguably the best defense in football, 45 tackles, 13.5 sacks, 20 tackles for loss, 4 forced fumbles, and then 1 fumble recovery. But let's also look at TJ Watt, because I think you could almost argue that Watt's numbers might have actually been better than Aaron Donald. Sure, very different positions, and sure, Aaron Donald plays defensive tackle, and I still think that he might be arguably the best player in the league. But Watt, 53 tackles, 15 sacks, 26 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and then you got Xavien Howard, where this dude put up 10 interceptions, 20 pass breakups. It's been way too long since anybody's put up 10 interceptions. I believe going all the way back to like 2009. I'd actually make the argument that Howard with 10 interceptions might have been a little bit more deserving of the award than Donald and Watt. I'm curious what you guys have to say. Did Xavien Howard deserve Defensive Player of the Year? I want you to type X for yes or type D for didn't. Did he deserve it? Sure he did. Did Aaron Donald deserve it? He also did. Did TJ Watt deserve it? He also did. My bottom line is this. For you to say that Donald gets 27, TJ Watt gets 20, and then Howard gets only 3, I almost feel like that is a little bit of a slap in the face to a player like Xavien Howard. So all week, we've been saying, hey, I've been telling you, I've been watching Game of Thrones. We're trying to conquer people. We're trying to conquer Chat Sports channels. Well, guess what? Dolphins today is at 11,440 subs as I make this video now. Lions Talk with Micro Mike, they're at 12,038. If you want to go ahead and catch the Lions, because if we're losing to the Lions and the Lions channel, I mean, come on, y'all. So hit that big red button that says subscribe, because if you want the latest Dolphins news and rumors, we got you covered. But if you also just hate losing, you need to subscribe. Now, since Thursday, okay, this is how many subscribers the channel has gained compared to Lions Talk. You're doing good. You've almost tripled them, right? So let's continue this pace, and let's continue to grow this bad boy. If you are a sub, take the link that you see below, youtube.com/DolphinsNews, and send it to some of your friends, because we got to catch them. All right, let's get into some NFL news, if you will, around Carson Wentz. And I saw an article from Fansided, and they got me to click. They really did. It said that should the Miami Dolphins get involved in the Carson Wentz market? I was like, wait a minute, hold up. I understand that the Eagles are potentially going to move on from him. I actually think that they should, and that multiple teams are interested in trading for the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback. However, if Miami ends up trading for Carson Wentz, I am going to be scratching this head. I'm going to be scratching this head wondering what the heck are they doing, because I don't think it makes a lot of sense, considering the fact that when you see the year that Wentz had, this is not going to be the quarterback that I want to ultimately build around. It's not going to be a quarterback that I think has a lot of value. Plus, you have to pay him a ridiculous amount of money. So those are all those things into equation. And then I noticed this. I noticed that the article was really more way about a 3-team potential trade. So this was the 3-way trade Fansided came up with, all right? So stick with me. Again, I didn't come up with it. They came up with it, and here at Chat Sports, we like to find crazy articles or crazy topics and then break it down here because that's what these shows are about. So the Miami Dolphins received Deshaun Watson, Randall Cobb, and then the Eagles' 6th overall pick. The Houston Texans receive Carson Wentz, Xavien Howard, and then the Dolphins 3 and 18 overall picks. The Philadelphia Eagles get Tua, and then the Dolphins 2021 second-round pick, number 50 overall. So be honest with me. You see this graphic on screen. Who wins this trade? If you think it's the Miami Dolphins, I want you to type MIA. If you think it's the Houston Texans, type HOU. If you think it's the Philadelphia Eagles, type PHI. If you want to tell me why you think who wins these certain types of deals, seriously, let me know. At the end of the day, though, for me, I don't know if the Eagles ultimately win it for the simple fact of they're giving up just way too much draft capital. In terms of does this trade make sense for the Dolphins, here are my thoughts. The only way that you honestly trade Xavien Howard is if Noah Igbenogany, you know for 100% fact that this dude is ready to rock and roll. I get that you drafted him in the first round last year, number 30 overall. But the rookie out of Auburn, he did really struggle. He was actually rated as the worst cornerback according to Pro Football Focus last year, 129 out of 129. But if you think that he can take that next step and be a solid cornerback too next to Byron Jones, maybe you think about trading Xavien Howard. But if I'm being honest with you, I ain't going to trade somebody who almost just won Defensive Player of the Year. Like, we talk about how great the Miami Dolphins defense is. It was great because of Byron Jones and Xavien Howard on the outside. Next part of that, I understand that the Miami Dolphins are looking for a wide receiver. But Randall Cobb, is that really the answer here? I mean, here are his numbers in 2020. 38 catches, 441 yards, 3 touchdowns. Did he battle some injuries? Absolutely. Would he be a good fit, obviously, with Deshaun Watson? Sure he would. However, there's so many other talented receivers in free agency, like an Allen Robinson, who we'll talk about here in a little bit, like a Curtis Samuel. I mean, there's just so many other options. Plus, in terms of the draft, I don't know, right? Now, I will say this. If you do end up making that trade, you do then have the number 6 overall pick. Could Devonta Smith be there? Sure he could. Could Jamar Chase be there? Absolutely. Could Penei Sewell be there? Yes, absolutely. I've been saying for a long time, the Dolphins might actually be smart to trade down from pick 3 to continue to get more assets that they can build around Tua. But this trade, man, is wild to me because do you get the best player in it, Deshaun Watson? Yes. But you're also giving up the best defensive player in Xavien Howard, and would having the number 6 overall pick be nice from the Philadelphia Eagles? Sure. But if you're telling me right now, I could get a player like Xavien Howard, number 6 overall in the draft. Like, I get that he's a lot older, but you would take the production that Howard's been able to give the Miami Dolphins over and over again. So I understand that the trade was up there, and I've been for Deshaun Watson, but giving up Xavien Howard is just something that I just do not want to do. All right, y'all, speaking of X, I don't want you to become an X. Valentine's Day, right around the corner here. Chatsports.com/flowers is how you get hooked up with 15% off all flowers and gifts. Leave it to the professionals. I'm not built to be a connoisseur, if you will, and being able to find the best flowers. I'm not the best guy being able to find out the gifts. However, I do know this. Pro Flowers has amazing bundles, and we have an amazing deal going on with them. You like macaroons? You get a box of macaroons. You like donuts on sticks? We got them. How about bath supplies? We got you all hooked up here. Bottom line is this. If you're struggling figuring out what the heck am I going to get my significant other, what am I going to get my mother, what am I going to get my daughter for Valentine's Day, it's as simple as this. Go to chatsports.com/flowers. We can save 50% off, but you better hurry because if you wait till the last moment, it might not come in time. So take advantage of our deal while it's still going on. Hopefully everyone out there has a good Valentine's Day. It's just a week away. All right, let's get into this next topic here. Chris Godwin. I saw according to Fansided that Godwin is the Dolphins' top free agent target this offseason. I disagreed with that personally just because he's a great receiver. He's only 24 years old, having a very stellar season right now with the Buccaneers. Had a better year in 2019 with Jameis Winston and that offense ultimately. has battled some injuries this year, has struggled with some drops as well. His name's being brought up because the Buccaneers are, in fact, playing in the Super Bowl. But there was a report that came out today, Sunday morning, that the Bucs do intend actually to stick with Godwin. They intend to re-sign him and give him a monster contract. When I think about the type of contract that Godwin's going to get, I do anticipate something along the lines of what Amari Cooper got, where you're probably looking at $60 million guaranteed, $20 million per year, 5-year contract. So keep that in mind. Speaking of those type of numbers, if that's what you want to go get Allen Robinson, that's probably what it's going to cost here. And here's my next thing, because if Chris Godwin is off the market, I almost think that this makes Allen Robinson in a tier of his own of being that top wide receiver to go out and get. If you really want to build around Tua, Allen Robinson is, I think, one of the most perfect options to be able to do it. Sure, you're going to have to spend money, but guess what? If you want great players in the NFL, you're going to have to spend money. Now, were the Bears dumb to not extend him? Yes, absolutely. The fact that they decided to give Tariq Cohen, no offense to him, an extension over Allen Robinson kind of goes to show you. Plus, all his teammates have continued to back him up. I have not really heard anyone ever say anything bad about Robinson, even with his time back at Penn State. He can catch the football, he can block, he can really just about do it all, and he has never played with a half-decent quarterback. I mean, this guy's putting up numbers with Blake Bortles, Nick Foles, and Mitch Trubisky. Tua's going to look like Stevie Young back there if he ends up getting him. So, do you want Miami to go out and bring in Allen Robinson? I want you to type S for sign, type P for pass. If the money's right, you try to figure out a way to do it. Now, it might change up some of your draft plans, obviously, but if Allen Robinson wants to come to Miami, I think you'd be stupid not to at least pick up the phone and see what he wants. Now, today is Super Bowl Sunday. I'm excited. I'm actually going to be doing a watch party here at Chat Sports, but let me know down in the comment section. I want you to try to predict the score. Buccaneers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The over-under in this one, 56 points. The Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites. You got Patrick Mahomes going up against Tom Brady. Go down in the comments, predict the score. I'm going to go Chiefs win 31-27. If you disagree with me, though, I want to see it down below.